Good morning, everybody. I'm Logan, and today you're going to be with me here on Broynes Farm. Today's a pretty exciting day because we finally have some nice weather and some extra time to start planting some garlic. If everything goes as planned, we should get it all in today. We just got back from our cousin's house. We actually have to borrow their tractor to do this job because their tractor is smaller, and we actually have to turn these wheels in so that they have a smaller wheelbase and they can fit between our rows. Perfect. Hold right there. Oops. So we just got the wheels turned around the tractor. Now I'm going to hook it up here to the planter, and then we'll be ready to start planting. This is a clip from me yesterday cleaning garlic at market. It takes a long time to do, so we wanted to get a head start.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Plus you can't mix the hot, because what it'll do is the eggs. When you put the eggs in, it'll cook the eggs. Before you mix it so the meat don't stay together.
Sometimes when I'm peeling the garlic, we'll get what we call a sliver in the bulb. It's just a little toe of garlic, not big enough for our likings to plant. So I'll put it in that quart basket on the side, and then we'll sell it to the customers.
Last year, and they said we had them till April.
I know they do last. I used to work at Roses.
Well, we dig them and then we grade them. We take the little ones out, but then we just put them right in the bag. So they're
Use your own tomatoes too.
that's the end of
Basically what I'm doing is scoring it in between each toe first with my thumbnail. Then I'm taking the top little layer off, and I can just pull it right apart then. It's a very simple process, but after you do hundreds and hundreds, your fingers do start to get sore.
We have 55 bags of potatoes. How you doing? We got red potatoes out there last
Once you get done pulling the garlic apart, this is what it should look like. Just the stem and the roots. So here we are in the barn. This is our helpers, Frank and Steph. They're the ones that peeled most of the garlic. All these boxes here is garlic that's ready to go. All right, so we're just about ready to plant. We have all of our garlic pulled apart. We're hoping out of all these boxes, we have 2 here. My dad has 2 over there. We have 4 more here, and the guys are still working on peeling more. We're hoping to have about 12,000 altogether. The only thing left to do yet is grease the planter, and we're ready to go. So this is what our garlic field is looking like behind me. My dad just got it worked off yesterday. These little, looks like 2 little lines here. That is where the garlic's gonna get planted. Now, this isn't a huge field, but it does go down over the hill where you can't see it. We're gonna fill all these rows, and then down here, where you don't see any rows, next year this will actually be my little sunflower patch. You can see here how my dad makes the rows is with our corn planter. Obviously there's no corn in the planter when he's planting, but when he does that, the main reason he's doing it is to make rows so that I have something to follow with the tractor, and he's putting fertilizer in the ground, as you can see right here. Now that's right here on the outside because that's where he pulled out the planter, but in here it's buried, and then when it rains, that nutrients and all of the fertilizer is gonna suck right up into the roots of the garlic, and then it will start growing. The point of planting garlic now in the fall instead of in the spring like everything else is so that that garlic can set its roots now, but yet it's not gonna grow. Sometimes if we have a lot of warm weather after we plant, it will start to sprout up, that's not what we want. We like it to just set its roots a little bit, and then we're supposed to cover it with straw. Now usually, like I said, we always have so much going on. We don't get straw covered until like January, February. We're gonna try and get it covered here soon after we get it planted, but it just doesn't always work out that way. We're gonna start off here by Mom filling both her and my dad's tray full of garlic. It may look here like we're going like a snail, and let me tell you, we are. For my mom and dad, it doesn't seem slow, but when you're the guy on the tractor, it feels like you're crawling. You may think for the guy on the tractor, it's very simple, and it kind of is, but you always gotta stay focused. You can't just play on your phone, because if I don't make these rows straight and keep them in the rows that my dad made, it'll be very difficult next year when we need to drive through the field with the tractor and we're running over garlic because the rows weren't straight. You can see right in front of the 2 metal wheels right there, those 2 lines, that's exactly where I need to be, and that's where I'm at right now, so everything's good. Once the planter gets into the field, my mom and dad will drop the planter, where you can see that shoe start to make a furrow where they can plant the garlic, and then now you'll see their hands drop down and start planting. Now, They have a very important part here, obviously, because not only are they planting the garlic in the ground, but they got to make sure those cloves are around 4 to 6 inches apart, and they need to make sure they're pointing straight up or the garlic will not grow right.
Get them?
I got relieved of my tractor duties for a little bit, so I wanted to show you guys what it looks like after we plant them. So as you've seen from my video, my mom and dad are planting them, and we usually like to go about 2 inches deep, not much more than that. So if I pull back the ground a little bit, right there you can start to see the tip of it. And the biggest thing is, now this one is actually a little bit crooked, but you want this to be as straight as possible when planting that in the ground. And like I said, you only want about 2 inches of dirt above it, no more than that, or it's gonna take a long time to come up in the spring. You want the root side down, which right here we took the roots off, but you can see where it was. Put that in the ground just like that, put some dirt around it, and actually our planter kind of hills it up a little bit. And just like that, that's exactly what you want right there. Now for spacing wise, if you guys are gonna plant multiple in a row, you wanna keep them about 6 inches apart. That way, it'll give them enough room to grow and get to a nice size, but not too far apart where you're gonna waste space in your garden. So that's basically it for planting garlic. There's some key things you wanna remember when planting. Always start out with a good toe or a good bulb. That way, you have good genes when you're growing it. In previous years, we've actually had smaller garlic that we bought off somebody, and we could easily tell in those rows our garlic didn't get to the size our own garlic got to, because our own garlic was a bigger, nicer bulb when we planted it. Another thing is get the garlic in on time. We live in Northeast PA, so around here we want to get it in late October, early November. If you get much past mid-November, it's going to be getting too late, and you don't know how the garlic's going to turn out the next year because it's going to get too cold and the garlic's not gonna have time to set its roots. And my last big thing I wanna say you should probably do is after you get the garlic planted, cover it with some straw or hay or even leaves. That helps keep the really cold temperatures out of it in the dead of winter. And then when spring comes and those weeds start coming up, that'll suppress the weeds and the garlic will push right up through it. So I will be having more videos to come on garlic, just not right now. Our main focus now is getting these potatoes out of the ground before we get too cold of temperatures. But probably within the next month or two, we'll be covering that garlic with straw. And then springtime, we'll be fertilizing it, cutting scapes off. So be sure to stay tuned if you enjoy growing garlic or if you want to learn how. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. And always remember, it ain't much, but it's honest work. For the rest of the video, enjoy my brother Colton here weed whacking the farm.